Hello? Anybody here? Let me hear you. Morning, Lauren. How are you? Can you hear me? I'm sorry. I have a headache. I don't know why I always get a headache on. I don't know why I always get a headache on beautiful days like this. I have a mystery person in here. It says there's 2 watchers, but only 1 person in chat, which is you. I have a really juicy story today. Did you watch the end of yesterday? You should go back and do that. The last one I read, story I read was hysterical. It involved poop. It was funny though. It was really funny. Oh, now there's 3 people. Maybe we'll get to 5 people today. That'd be cool. You guys can join the chat. Right. Oh, well, I'll take the bots, I guess. I'm going to read my Google headlines, just the headlines. We're not going to read the articles because it's silly and just gives people time to gather. Ex-FBI Director Comey has been indicted and Hegseth summons military leaders. I did read a little bit of that. The military leader thing is very concerning. I don't know what that's about. Netanyahu tells UN that Israel must finish the job in Gaza after dozens of delegates walk out in protest. Local news. Substantial damage following bridge hit on US 23 at Krause Road. Oh, that's nice. There's a county walk to end Alzheimer's next weekend. Be nice if Alzheimer's went away. Morning, Mucho. How are you? Not good that they're firing a bunch of generals if that's true. Some of these are very inappropriate. Say goodbye to the microwave forever. The new appliance set to replace it soon. I wonder what that is. Sister Wives Robin Brown says husband Cody only wants another wife for sex. Oh my gosh. There's a leak in the ceiling. Yeah, a dog. That's not good. Did you report that already? Hi, Sarah. Okay, good. How bad is it? As Lauren asked. Oh, okay. Did you see the? Did you listen to the last story yesterday, Sarah? I mean, that's better than a flood. Still not good. I thought it was funny too. It cracked me up. How to get a refund from Amazon Prime with the FTC settlement. Now Lauren's sending me snaps. Oh, he's so cute. He likes his sunning. Cute little Tony. Well, if you kids are ready, you need to invite some of your friends. All right, kidlets, I love you all. My little biddies. So we're going to start with malicious compliance. Be available during lunch? Sure thing. It's short. But I do have a juicy, very long one that I had to wait days, months for the end of. You guys get it all one little scoop. My manager sent a passive-aggressive message to the whole team, clearly aimed at me. Quote, lunch breaks are unpaid, but everyone is expected to be available during core hours, including lunch. Unquote. Not cool. I used to leave the office when I worked because people would keep asking me questions, even though I was in a different room. Still in the office, but in a different room, and they would come and ask me questions. I just had to start leaving. I used to take a quick walk or step out to grab coffee, never missed meetings, never late, but fine. If she wants me to be available, I'll play along. I started eating lunch at my desk every day. No headphones, not working, just sitting. I ignored emails, messages, and when people came over, I'd smile and say, I'm on my unpaid break, but I'll jump on it at 1. One day she sent a message at 12:10 asking for a report ASAP. I didn't reply until 1 o'clock. Someone else had scrambled to do it by then. She later asked why I didn't respond. I said I was available, just not working as instructed. She never brought up lunch breaks again. Even in the car, I wasn't safe. I did do the lunch break in the car. I tried it at least. Plus, it's hot in the summer. I hope Sarah has a good place to take breaks on her new job. From r/I don't work here lady. It's always a fun one too. 8.5 floor please request I got in an elevator. Visited a friend that lived in a high-rise apartment of 15 floors. Most of the residents are on the older retired side of age, but only by coincidence since it's not a senior living building. I got into the elevator to head up to the 11th floor where my friend lived and picked up a couple of elderly women on the way. One woman requested to be taken to the 8.5 floor when they got in. I looked at the floor buttons and, of course, couldn't see it anywhere. There was a half-floor option. I asked, do you mean the 8th or 9th floor? She repeated louder, no, the 8.5 floor. I looked at the other women and rolled her eyes like I was being so difficult. I will be glad when this congestion goes away. Well, that's good. She won't have to drive that much then. I didn't push any buttons so that the elevator went straight to the 11th floor. I could see the woman getting upset that they missed their floor because of me, I guess. So when I got out, all I could say was, I don't work here, but good luck finding your floor. To this day, I'm wondering if they were just senile or missed out on a being John Malkovich situation. The top comment is, sorry, the half floors are only accessible by stairs and direct them to stand at the landing between sections of floors or halfway up a flight of stairs. Oh. This one is from r/am I overreacting? Am I overreacting for immediately requesting a room change after my roommate told me her rules around guests? I, 21 female, getting my medical degree, so living in a mature housing complex. Set up as 2-bedroom apartments, shared kitchen and bathroom. which is basically what married housing was when I was in college. Roomie moved out over this summer, so I was reassigned a few weeks ago and moved into a new room with a new roommate, mid-20s female from Persia. I've been here a few weeks now, but we have only spoken a few times cordially. She is either out in class working or in her room, as am I. Neither of us occupy common areas, so we don't often cross paths much. This long weekend, my fiance, who I have dated for 7 years, came to visit me. He lives in a different part of the country, 5-hour drive away, as I moved here for school, and we wanted to keep his job while I'm studying. Since I will come back home when I'm done, my ground rules for my visitors are stay in my room at all times unless going to the bathroom. If we leave my room, which is usually only to leave the apartment and go out, they will always be directly accompanied by me. The university approves of overnight guests up to 4 nights a month as long as they follow the rules. On the second day of his visit, my roommate took me aside and told me she didn't expect my guests would be male, and she is uncomfortable with men being present in the apartment. I explained that he was my fiance, so I promised he was a safe man, but I understood the feeling scared around strange men, so I would ensure he stayed only in my room and didn't interact with her at all. She said it wasn't a matter of being concerned for safety or anything, but rather she is uncomfortable with a man being present at all in the home, regardless of familiarity. She said she has never had a roommate in all of the 4 years living here who has ever had a male guest. She then told me I needed to send him home. I was quite taken aback and said no, I would not be able to send him home, as he drove 5 hours away to visit me for the weekend. She said fine, he is able to stay for the weekends until the weekends end. But after this, no more male guests are to return to the apartment. I asked if this included family members like my dad, brothers, my male best friend of many years, and she said yes. This applies to all men. I'm very close to all, so occasionally last year they would pop up to visit. I would maybe have one guest for a weekend per month total. She's uncomfortable with any men being in the apartment at any time. If I am to have guests, they must only be female. I tried to reason a bit more, but she said it's a hard boundary for her that no males be in the apartment. That's insanity. I wonder what happened to her that she's like that. I was getting very flustered at this point, so I exited the conversation immediately. I've gotten to work with the university. I'm requesting a room change. I do understand it may be a cultural misalignment between us, as she is from a country where men and women are usually much more segregated. But for me, as a woman who is close with a lot of men in her life, I just feel this is fundamental incompatibility between us. And out of respect for her boundary, I feel it's best if I leave. I have been extremely stressed since this conversation, and I am now just on baseline level very uncomfortable with this dynamic. Am I overreacting? Oh, that's what we should do. Should. Okay. I started a poll. No men allowed. You would, Lauren. How would you have felt if there was a no woman allowed in college? Am I overreacting? Should I have tried to talk this out more before jumping immediately to ask for a room change? Added, I'm really sorry I said Persian instead of Iran. When she introduced herself to me, she referred to her as Persian, so I thought it was correct. Top commenter is not overreacting. Second commenter says, I would have told her to leave if she's uncomfortable. You're not breaking any rules. If she had hard boundaries, she should be the one to make her own arrangements. Has everybody voted? You would. Somebody didn't vote. Turkeys. Oh, make sure you like the stream, guys. Only one of you had done it. Cultural differences are hard to navigate, but you also have to realize that you're not the only person that lives there. It's very sad if you're that. I don't want to say afraid. That seems like afraid. Okay. Best of Red or updates is the best thing since sliced bread. Just kidding. That's menopause. So this is Best of Red or updates. My 15-year-old idiot kid got his girlfriend pregnant on purpose. Original post was April 26th of this year. I, 30, have a child who is 15. Yeah, and the OP was making accommodations. She didn't expect her to interact with him at all. Just he's not even allowed to just be. All right, I'm gonna start over. I, 30 female, have a child who is 15 male. We'll call him Ollie, plus other children aged 2, 6, 9, and 11. So they had Ollie when they were 15, which is young. As you can tell by my own age, I was a teen parent. I was lucky, and we married at 18, still married, healthy relationship, worked our way out of a very dire situation, graduated, started a trade, etc. And we are comfortable, stable in all ways. This information is relevant. Ollie has always been friends with this girl. We'll call her Bree, since he was 7 years old. Their family used to live in the same city as us, and we went to the same school and the same friendship group. We know her parents are long-distance friends ourselves, not close friends, but say hello when the kids are on video chat, had drinks together before. Bree's family moved to a very small town 3 states away due to rental affordability. No secret. We have all talked about the rising costs of everyday life. The cost of living in the city is rising, forcing many locals out. They moved because of that and for better job opportunities about 18 months ago. Since then, Ollie has been begging for us to follow, giving us a sales pitch of cheaper housing, better paying jobs, none of which fit either of our professions, the whole works. We have said no because, well, no. But even if we wanted to, our other children are in school, sports, have friends here. Selling and buying another house, finding work outside of our skill set, or having to learn new skills, any normal adult would understand this. He does not. Well, fast forward to Christmas, Bree's family came back to our town for holiday, and the kids met up multiple times with each other. It was my understanding that they were always with the other kids, but obviously not since Bree is pregnant, and I am certain it was on purpose. He has access to condoms. I don't care for opinions on that. My access was restricted, and I had him. He's had sex eds for me, my husband, school. He knows damn well how babies are made and how not to have one. Ollie now wants me to move to be with her and the baby. It's confirmed. I have talked to her parents. And I said no. I don't feel I need a reason, but he asked. So, you're 15. We don't have any proof it's your child yet. I'm not moving away from our lives, and you're not going alone until you're 18. We'll do a DNA test, then we'll look at parenting plans, topped off with too bad, so sad. You made your bed, now you have to sleep in it. You took all of that back to Bree, and now communication between me and her parents has been cut out. I'm a terrible person. My comments about the DNA test are disgusting and it's fueling my son's hate for me. He says I'm keeping him for the love of his life and a future baby, using my own successful relationship as proof it'll work out. I actually don't even know if I'm right or not. I'm just really upset. I feel like my life worked out really hard. I feel like my life and I feel like my life I worked really hard for has been destroyed. To answer some update, edited for an update to answer some questions. She is due September around the 22nd, so there's no option for abortion. I don't think that or adoption ever was. Ollie admitted that it was on purpose last night. Apparently, it was Bree's idea first as a joke. It turned into a plan together. Bree's parents will only pass messages through my son, and I have heard this for myself. I stood outside the door and listened to him. Tell them. Tell your mother, insert info below. Because I know I will just go off on her, but it's still bullshit. They are talking shit about me with my kid. They are appalled I would think that way of Bree when I have known her for more than half her life and do not wish to talk to me. I will not allow him to move out there alone. There are some past issues, such as Bree breaking up with him twice in the last 18 months because she found someone that she liked more in her new town around August, October last year. Same boy. When it ended, she came back to Ollie. Bree is a nice girl, but her behavior is toxic and has been since a child. Her mother and stepfather are nice, but the relationship is unstable. The house is chaos. 9 children. Combined blended family and 2 to 3 teens with serious mental health struggles. He would be leaving stability for chaos and no structure. I want a DNA test. I will not budge on that. I am close to cutting his contact totally at this point because they are only empowering him and reinforcing his behavior towards me and his father. His father is a man of few words, which is unhelpful. So far, he's backed everything I've said and only really chosen to say, you have the intelligence of a pear. Update number 2, May 30th. Things have gone south even further. At this point, husband and I have been blocked on all social media and numbers blocked, but the communication with Ollie has continued. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to, but before using it, I asked him to video chat Bree with me there, and then I could ask Bree to please get her parents so I can talk to them about this and tell her that if they were going to continue to refuse, I would be blocking all contact to Ollie and communication until this is resolved. I told Ollie this before the call. At first, he flipped out about it, but it was this or I cut communication completely. I do think he understands that it's not okay for our parents to be speaking to me through minors, and he said himself he would like us to talk to each other. I don't understand a parent who would want to play a telephone game with 15-year-olds. It's kind of sus. Bree joined the call and hung up when she saw I was there. Ollie called back a few times and she didn't answer. She asked via text why I wanted to talk to her, and Ollie told her I wanted to speak to her mother. And if we didn't resolve the communication issue, then all contact would be ended until her parents made contact with us, and we make a plan for the next few months, including DNA, then birth arrangements. Said that if the baby was his, we will travel there for the birth and the first few weeks after. He told her that I personally think it's probably his baby, but I want to be sure, and I want to make sure everything is done from the start. Well, Bree blocked him with a reply, and he is totally heartbroken and not eating. sitting in his room all day and night, not mad at me, surprisingly. Very, very sorry for him and to us, sad about it all. I think regretful. He even asked me if there was a way to undo it for himself. We haven't talked about siding over rights of male abortion, as father called it, because I think he's just upset right now. A mutual friend of Bree and Ollie's in our hometown sent him a few posts she has made in the last 24 hours. Things like, "It's you and me against the world, baby girl," and memes about deadbeat dads. She also announced pregnancy, which she had not done yet, and the post had some single mother facts and quotes. Ollie's friends knew about the situation, and a few were under the impression that he had dumped her and the baby, going by the post, but he explained what happened. They all rallied for him in the comments. I said not to, and now she's blocked them, and we can't see what she posted. It's just a nightmare. I have had a plan personally, not set, but something I wanted to talk to her parents about, but I don't even want to waste my time at this point. Ollie gave us Bree's parents' email address to send an email to with a said plan. Basically, Bree does not want a DNA blood test. We will pay the full $1,500 for it. If it is his baby, we can book flights and plan to be there the first month. I'll stay too with Ollie, maybe even the whole family, and then we can also work on a parenting plan and getting into mediation for a judge to sign off on. Ollie's father and I split for the first 7 months of his life, so we have done this before and we know the process. But at this point, I think I will just leave it to settle. Hey, I put a new poll up. Do you guys think that Ollie should get the DNA test done? June 3rd, 4 days later from update 2 in the original post. Editor, they edited out the bottom part of the post since it was just the original stuff. No, 100% no. You don't think you should get the DNA test? Okay, guys. Okay. I see you. Lauren, I think you're just being contrary today. Okay, this is an update on June 3rd. Ollie's friend was able to see her Instagram through an old account, a different email. I don't use Instagram enough to know what that means, but they weren't blocked when they reactivated it. They found the pregnancy announcement post, and if you scrolled across, it showed a digital copy of the scan Bree sent us at 16-week, as a 16-week scan. Apparently, the first scan she had the OB at the OB. That is dated 4/4 and clearly says GA 19 plus 3 weeks, making it August due date, I believe, or very early September. This would not line up with the due date given to us, but it does line up with when her parents told me she was pregnant mid-April. They told us we have the pregnancy confirmed and sent a photo of the printed pic, which the date isn't on there, and I actually think it may have been cut off at the top. I haven't told Ollie this yet because I want to be sure. I'm very concerned about his mental health at the moment and taking that into consideration. I think she meant consideration. She was here from December 20th to January 17th and saw Ollie December 21st and 22nd and January 4th and 5th. Never overnight. When I asked Ollie when did this happen, he said January 4th was the only time, which makes sense as they were at a public gathering otherwise. They were at a mutual friend's birthday that night, but never stayed overnight. I have 5 kids, and I know the dates are too close to figure that out anyway. Ollie also said that the joke Bree made was just to see if it happens, the pregnancy, because then it's obviously meant to be, and he would be able to move. To me, it sounded like she had planned longer, but I may be biased here. Still don't think that I think you can change your vote still. It's still up. Update number 4, June 15th, 2025. Same update post 12 days later. I need a drink. I spoke to Bree's biological father, lives in town, had no idea about any of this. Before you come for me, there was no known DV or anything. I felt like I had run out of options at this point. I just wanted to contact them. Bree's mother made contact, agreed to the blood test if we paid for it. Ollie and Bree spoke again, and Bree asked to come here for a holiday and have an ultrasound with him to prove the dates in person. I agreed to this. I may not be thinking straight with all this stress we have been under. She says she is 26 weeks, sent him a photo of her belly, which has grown, and told him there's no other option but him to be the father, that the ultrasound had to go by her last period date. She didn't remember it, so she went by her app, which was the period before. That's why the dates are out on the scan. I asked her if she had a physical booklet of pregnancy notes or something, because I know from experience that they have all the confirmed info on them, but she said everything is digital with her doctor, and I didn't want to push because it's not my medical info. I'm wondering if I do just fly her out here on my own terms, her mother agreed, and do the blood and ultrasound here to put an end to it all. Oh, is that why you're feeling contrarian? Because you can't buy your Ed Sheeran tickets? And that's a ridiculous price for tickets for anything. Holy cow. $200? Oh, Ticketmaster sucks and always has. I used to stand in line for Ticketmaster. Like in line. Physically in line. I don't think you were in the lower bowl for that, though, were you? Plus, it's Taylor. She's worth it. Oh, were you? Girl, you paid a lot of money for that. I hope it was worth it. I know you love Swift. I know you love Taylor. Yeah, I hear you. Update number 5, June 25th, 2025. 10 days later. We all came to a travel arrangement. We paid for Bree to fly out. Her father was paying for the ticket home. Bree was supposed to fly to us this morning and stay for 6 weeks total, flying back sometime in August. Her father's in charge of that flight. She was staying with us over the next few weeks while we do our annual July 4th family vacation for a week, and then a couple more weeks back here at home for the ultrasound and blood test. It was decided together, both families, because Bree and Ollie would like to have some kind of positive experience and memories during the pregnancy. Obviously, if the baby wasn't his, Bree would be taken to her father's, and we wouldn't be finished with it all. And we would be finished with it all. But she never turned up for her flight. She texted the night before that the doctor did not recommend she should not travel as she was at risk of preterm labor due to her age and her severe morning sickness, makes her only able to tolerate pineapple juice, so she is needing to be hospitalized and may even deliver early. This is on top of a group photo that included Bree, obviously pregnant in a tight tee, hugging the boy she was dating in her new town, his hand on her belly. It was quickly removed from her story when Ollie asked. I think it was intentional to make him jealous. I am done. I do not believe her or her parents. I have contacted a lawyer and therapist. I will not be updating again until I know the outcome of the DNA test, that I assume will not be done until after the baby's born, since I was told today I cannot force her what to have while pregnant. If this baby is Ollie's and my grandchild, I am willing to move Bree here and have her live with us. It has no chance and will continue to ruin my son's life from afar. It has no chance. Yeah, that's what it says. I'm going to end this poll. It says Ollie should definitely not get a DNA test. I disagree. I think Ollie should get the DNA test. Update number 6, July 13th. Almost 3 weeks later. I didn't plan on updating prior to the DNA test, but I can confidently say that we do not need to know the truth. Well, I hope there's tickets available later, honey. I didn't plan on updating prior to the DNA test, but I can confidently say that we do not need it to know the truth. We will still likely do one if Bree sticks to her story. Only I will go through the courts at this time. We have a family lawyer, and he has advised us these updates are fine as long as I do not identify anybody by name, location, etc. I had a lot of helpful messages on here, and I do read them even if I don't reply. One was from a radiographer who suggested that I look at the measurements on the baby on the ultrasound, and if I'm able to get scan pictures and then use that to calculate if the baby was 16 weeks on that scan. I've kept the idea in mind if I ever get a chance to see the scan myself. The same Redditor also raised concerns that she has had only one scan at 16 weeks, and there wasn't a 20-week scan later. All OBs would do a scan at 18 to 22 weeks, which is true. That's about the time you do a scan of the baby to check for birth defects and such. One photo we have seen is a photo of a scan and a profile shot of the baby's face at 16 weeks. There hasn't been another scan since. We have been playing it safe and being very careful with how we tread around Bree, not wanting to cause any arguments. We have not mentioned this to them yet, and if by chance someone tells them via this post or they know about this post, we don't care. We have nothing to lose since the baby isn't Ollie's, and this is how I know. Bree and Ollie have many mutual friends, but only one other girl, Hannah, who is still friends with both of them from within the group. Hannah believes Ollie is the father because that's what Bree says, but she had a falling out with Bree this week. It led to her talking to Ollie, and then she sent Ollie a video that Bree sent her after the ultrasound in April. Prior to this, Bree had told her not to show him because he wasn't going to be the baby's life by choice and all the things she was posting about deadbeat dads. The video shows multiple measurements being done, and I was able to see clearly that the baby measured 19 weeks and that the scan was the 20-week scan. There is no way that the baby is Ollie's baby. She is due August 26th. Ollie knows all of this and is doing okay, very angry, but he has the support he needs. What happens now, we don't know the truth. All we can do is speculate why his son was the target of this plan. I know we will likely never know the truth. To clear things up, I will not be taking this up with Bree and her family until after the baby is born. I'm not concerned about the DNA test results, but we'll still do one. In the video, the OB nurse or whatever doing the scans is so your due date is August 26th, which lines up perfectly with your last period. So I know that's the due date, and you can clearly see the numbers on the screen showing the measurements are 18 to 19 weeks. Ollie cannot be the father, even she wasn't even in the state. There's plenty of other more detailed clues, but I will not boast. I think the father, excuse me. There's plenty of other more detailed clues, but I will not post. I think the father is the boyfriend in that town. I did not understand why Ollie was better. Yes, there's more money, but we aren't rich. We just live smart. Thanks for the support. And then the last update was 20 days ago. Baby K was born on September 1st, 2025, 8 pounds, 4 ounces. She was induced for being post-due date. So obviously not Ollie's. Ollie visited a few hours after birth with me. Her mother and sister were there, and we asked to visit, but they were gone when we got there. A whiteboard on the wall had all the baby details. Also stated her expected delivery date was 08/26. Ollie didn't say much. He's very receptive to the fact that the baby is most likely not his, still in therapy. But I think he loves Bree, and I'm not sure how to navigate that. Ollie went down to the cafe to get her something to eat, as her mother had apparently forgotten to bring food. Since it was just us, I took my chance. I asked her about the EDD on the board nicely. I told her no one is upset with her. I'm too worried about the possibility that the home situation is unsafe and she might be trying to escape. I told her Ollie already knows. He has for months. He's not angry. He's worried. And he, even knowing she lied, he wanted to come here and be with her and the baby. I told her that I know the truth as his mother. There was nothing Bree could do that would keep him angry enough to cut her off. She broke. I think it was the fact that she was so tired and had just had the baby, the hormones, and probably a mental load that would not come with her lies. I felt a little bad, but I'm glad I asked. Bree admitted to me that she knows it is not possible, and she was very, very sorry. She wanted to move back to our city. She didn't want to live with her mother and stepfather anymore. In fact, she wanted to leave, and her dad told her no, she couldn't live with him. The pregnancy never planned originally, but she came up with the idea herself when she found out they were coming back for the holidays. I asked her who the baby's father was, and she never got to give me an answer, but I think it's the boy from her town. I had to ask that directly, and she shrugged, but no confirmation as Ollie came back, and she shut down again. I told Ollie that Bree had made a mistake, and she was sorry. And Ollie said he knew, and it was okay, that the baby was cute regardless, which I laughed at the ridiculousness that is my life. What a childish thing to say. I didn't ask her about her mother knowing or anything. I was cautious not to set her usual defensiveness off. We left not long after, and Ollie and Bree are still talking via text. Ollie right now has asked me not to do the DNA, as Bree is struggling with her own mental health like most of us do with that hormone shift. That's all I have the update on. So obviously this kid was not Bree's, or not Ollie's. Probably the kid from the town she's living in. I feel sorry for Bree because this is not an escape for her at all. This is not good. I can't believe it's really sad that her dad will not let her live with him also. I don't know what the situation is there, but it's really sad. So kids, having a baby is not an escape for anything, ever, really. Oh, let's do a petty revenge, and then I'm going to go because my voice is starting to go already again. Hopefully that will change over time. I'll get these longer. I'd like to do about a couple hours. This is r/petty revenge. Old lady got the ticket and said. It's really short. This was taking place in my apartment about 21 years ago. I was 24 back then and was living in an 18 apartment building. I don't know what that means. Probably made of cardboard and paper because the soundproofing was awful. I had this old lady and her husband. Sorry. I had this old lady and her husband as next door neighbor. Once in a while, she would call the cops on me for noise disturbance while I was listening to some music or watching a movie. Each and every time the cops arrived, they were forced to admit that my volume was not high enough to actually complain. But they still asked me if I could turn it down a little. This happened a good dozen times before I got pissed and asked the policeman if they were allowed to ticket someone for repeatedly bothering them for nothing. They didn't really answer, but I could tell it was making them think a lot. This was the last time I saw the police at my door from that old bitch. Weeks later, the janitor told me that she got a huge fine for bothering the police with false accusations. Justice served. We know what it's like for that, don't we, kids? Okay, well, I'm going to sign off, little biddies. You guys have a good day. I love you. Take care.